Hey guys and girls, I just wanted to take this time to make a video about the unfairness of narcissistic abuse. And I'm not even going to talk about the degrees of unfairness that come from, having a narcissistic family unit. That's a whole other level. I'm just talking about person to person, one person's intent and perception versus the opposite party's intent and perception. And I'm just using words to trigger thoughts. I do that a lot. But, I've dealt with somatic, cerebral, covert, and overt narc abusers, and I tend to be a perceptive guy. So I haven't gotten nearly as damaged by overts. But now that I've really learned a lot about psychology, I am far more perceptive than I've ever been. Thank God for the people out there who are helping. But it's not fair. It's not fair in that, number one, you opened up and you were vulnerable, while they were like a fucking creep hiding behind a mask and pretending to be who you wanted them to be. And them doing that almost makes them seem like suckers, and they are, but them doing that is not them being gullible or easily led. That's an intended effect to make you trust them. It's a control mechanism. These people are cold-blooded, even though they can seem like some of the most benevolent people you've ever met in your life. Welcome to Land of Crazy Fucks. Number two, you trusted them, and they did not trust you. All that any relationship with a covert narc is, from start to end, is how, from their angle, is how can I use this person? They're conning you the entire time. But what they're conning you for is so difficult to identify. And the effects of them conning you are so difficult to identify unless you know a lot about psychology. And it's very easily overlooked, the amount of damage, the amount of danger you're putting yourself in by getting involved with them. Now, I'm not saying you can't trust people, and I've actually developed a pretty damn good screening process myself. But at the same time, I am overcoming a wake of destruction by many narcissists. But it's okay. I'll be alright. So, it's also unfair in that you are a person. You are an actual human being, even if you're codependent, which, if you're codependent, you do have a responsibility to admit you're enabling towards them and deal with that problem in yourself, because it has nothing to do with them. It's all inside of you. But let's say you're not really a codependent, or like me, I'm really not that codependent, except in certain situations. It's weird. So, it's not fair because you have, a point of view. You've got, different emotional idiosyncrasies. Sorry. And you've got morals and standards, and you're gauging your behavior based off of that. And let's put this in a romantic context. Let's face it, if you're in a romantic context, you're behaving yourself for the beginning, and even that is an investment. It takes a lot of emotional energy to do that, and you're spending that on this person. And remember that they aren't doing any of that for you. They seem that way because your brain, if you're not a narcissist, most likely you're using it to do all sorts of things with your life, and navigate different relations with people and say, oh, this makes this person feel this way, then therefore I should probably behave in this way. Coming from all of these different angles, based on your morality or the way that you live your life. But they come from one single angle every fucking time, and that's why they seem so powerful. But behind that power is a great patheticness and a totally undeveloped, I'm not going to use the word human being, because they don't deserve that level of status. But so they're coming from that one angle the entire time, and that's all they spend their time and their energy on, their life on. They might give off a different impression, especially at the beginning. And the only thing that would, that's what would cause you not to believe what I just said, that they only come from one angle, that ultimately over enough time, you'll figure that out. They're only coming from one angle if you know enough about narc abuse. And their only angle is, how can I destroy as many people as possible and feel as good as I can about it? Or it's not necessarily destroy people, but how can I feel as good as I can, and if they don't make me feel good, then I'll destroy them, and then I'll feel good about that instead. It's really about power. They want that, and it's not actual power. And their power is highly illusory, but if you understand how illusions work and how your brain interprets reality, you can realize that it is a power and it isn't. It depends on how much you understand and how much you've healed. But there's a metaphor I have. It's like if you're driving your car, you check your oil, you make sure your car is running right, and that is like your brain and your heart. You're making sure this thing is kind of working. Even if you have an intention to heal yourself, a genuine intention, even if you aren't that healed, that's the direction you're moving in. Now they're gonna come along and say, I'm going in that same direction too. Hey, buddy. They aren't. So the metaphor is, you're driving out in the desert. You're in the desert, right? There's no one around, right? You're just driving your car, and then they don't. You're driving the speed limit. You're obeying traffic laws. They're driving all crazy, and they come and crash into you. And if you're smart, you make sure they speed away. Okay. Sometimes you're awkwardly related, sometimes they crash in your car in the middle of the desert and you're awkwardly relating for a while until either you get destroyed or you wise up and get them to go the fuck away. And then you are stuck with a broken car and you have to fix it, kind of yourself. You can have people come in and show you different parts of the car and teach it, but you ultimately have to fix it yourself, because it's your responsibility. And doing so will help you get over them that much faster. But, that's pretty much the unfairness of narc abuse, is that they're never honest or authentic with you, and they will they will turn you against yourself. They will make you believe so many things about yourself, and the fact that you believe them might be a part of childhood. It might be because you were unwitting and you just ran into someone in your adult life who really sucks. But it is not fair when one person has one intention and another person has another. And person A's intentions are completely transparent, completely honest. They might still have some boundaries, but person B's intentions are all false and never sincere, even though they practice sincerity. They practice emotion. They fake empathy. That's how sick and twisted these people are. And if you think that there's hope, you're best off, and really I don't recommend hoping for this person at all. At all. Because I've got 2, actually 3, counting my stepmom, narc parents. And I hoped for them to change. When they did terrible things, I thought they'd change. Really terrible, life-destroying things. I thought that they'd change. And I don't want to explain the depths that I went to try to bring light to the situation. Once I did that, I realized how fucking naive I was. That's an important lesson for narcissistic abuse, whether it's overt, covert, or whatever. If it's narcissistic abuse, you have to learn that these people are like worse than the villains in movies. Because they're ordinary humans, and yet they believe crazy things about themselves. So yeah, that was really dark, and I hope you loved it. No, I hope that it helped. I really hope that it helped, because it's important to look at these things, these dark things, in a certain way, so that you can stay safe and you can stay protected. No one's gonna be better at that than you. So, take care. Much love, vibes sending out to you. Subscribe to my channel, please. This is really, I've got no monetary interest. I just want to share this with people so that eventually someday we'll be throwing these motherfuckers in jail. I don't know, something. Just, further the cause. Alright, thank you for watching. Goodbye.